What's good, beautiful people? It's your main man, Big G, here on Industry Talk, and welcome to Primetime Pod, the hottest information resource outlet for all things entertainment, breaking news, celebrity interviews, and the hot topics of the day. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow us on all social media platforms, our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, you name it, we're on it. Just Google us. Boss Talk Podcast 101 Primetime.
Don't do
And he got
shit.
prime time vibe. Make sure you check it
How? Why the fuck you think he gets it? He say that.
Yeah, and Centerville's a whole lot.
Now I'm not trying to get a little messy with you.
Time is money.
out. They go trap.
What's good? What's good? What's good, beautiful people? It's your main man, Big G, back at you once again. I'm in your face and I'm in your space. And the evening is winding down, depending on where you are. I'm in the great state of Mississippi. And going into 2026, I'm going to jump a competition off. Hadn't decided what I want the prizes to be, but I want to find the artist that is going to create my intro for Industry Talk. It's got to be original music, got to be an original concept, but I want to see who's going to come with some fire for my intro going into 2026. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I want to do. If you're interested, hit me up, shoot me a email, DM me. Direct message on Facebook, client support at GEMSIT.org. That's GEMSIT.org. I'm looking for some fire. I'm looking for a hot track and a great concept to be my theme music, my intro music for my podcast. Let me do that. Yeah. Good evening to everyone, anyone that is joined on the live. We're here right quick, give you a quick rundown on everything that we have going on, what we're rolling out for 2025. Doing all my technical checks and specs to make sure that everything is running and is in good order. I'm trying to get away from Gippy. What's going on, brother Gip? Hey, man, look here. Auntie Love and that soul music that y'all pushing out of Atlanta. Boy, I tell you what, y'all charting, y'all doing all kind of wonderful things. You and Sky Watley, man, have rekindled and reinvigorated Southern Soul and have figured out the way to pipeline that music. I'm so happy to see that Zaga is launched and the brand is growing and expanding. You're doing some amazing things on radio at this point. Man, when we gonna get this book going? I think I shot that to you the other day. When we gonna get this book going? When is Big Gip, when is Gippy gonna sit there and produce that book that the world is waiting to see, read, and pay attention to? Because you know you captivate audiences, my brother. You already know that. Good to see you, Gip. Good to see you on live with us. Welcome to the show. And let me keep this thing rolling, man. Big shout out to my brother ECEO, the official Miss Jamaica. Y'all know how we do it. So make sure you like, subscribe, share, and comment. Wait a minute. What I'm doing? Let me show you the commercial in itself. Don't go and push it this way. Stop what you're doing right now and go subscribe to Boss Talk Podcast 101 Primetime on YouTube, all social media platforms. Boss Talk Podcast 101 Primetime. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to make sure you tap in. Right now, over 72,000 subscribers and well over 11 million views and watch time hours. So make sure that you continue to support, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, and keep tapping in with us because we're going to keep on bringing you this hot content every day and in every way. It's your main man, Big G. And make sure, like I said, stop what you're doing right now and tap in. Like, share, subscribe. Boss Talk Podcast 101 Primetime. Make sure you tap in. Make sure you tap in. Boss Talk Podcast 101, Boss Talk Podcast 101 Primetime. And if you are not linked up with the app, make sure you download the app. Make sure you download the app at bosstalk101.app on all the Google stations, the Play stores, all those wonderful places and spaces where you can tap in to the app. We want to see you there. We want you on this journey with us. We want you to participate. Tony G, one of the funniest women on the planet, Tony G, is in the space. Welcome to the live, sister. You need to give me a call. We need to talk about some reboots and some things we need to do with you and everything that you got going on with your comedy career. Get you out here on this circuit. You know, Jarrell Braswell's been running real hard and heavy with our brother Bubba Dub on the I Got Motion tour. And we need to get you linked up. We need to get you stuck like glue, my sister. We need to get you in the mix. So Tony G, whenever you get opportunity, whenever you get chance, my sister, give me a call. You know my number. It hasn't changed. Some exciting news, nothing major, but exciting to me, nonetheless. We will be streaming every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to be locking it in. Mark the calendars. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And we will be streaming across all these platforms. Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, X, and I'm trying to figure out if I can get this thing linked up on Twitter as well, but we're trying to tap all of them so we can simulcast to you all at one time, all in one place, because everybody doesn't use the same platforms. So we want to make sure that all of you guys have an opportunity to find us in the place and in the space that you like to do your thing. But we are linked up with all of those categories on the social media platform and Outlook. So be on the lookout for us. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we're getting it in. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we're getting it in. 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Commentary, entertainment news, great interviews, and just general conversation that you can use. No judgments here. We just try to make sense out of all the nonsense that's going on in the world today. So lock us in. Definitely lock us in. Big shout out to my brother E, CEO, and the official Ms. Jamaica, the proprietors of Boss Talk Podcast 101, Boss Talk Podcast 101 Primetime. My brother, you know, I always give big shouts out to my people. So let's lock in like this.
It's about that time. We decided we were going to do something a little bit different today, add some different elements to what we already do. It's going down, man. Trying to figure out ways to break the algorithm, man. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to all our channels, all our different platforms. Boss Talk 101, Boss Talk 101 Primetime. It's crazy. We got to get it done, though. Boss Talk 101, where the bosses talk.
Boss Talk 101, where the bosses talk. Y'all know what it is, man. We trying to break the algorithm. That shouldn't be hard to do. That shouldn't be hard to do if you stay consistent enough. Ain't that what they tell you? You stay consistent enough, you drop all these videos, and eventually something gonna catch. Man, I don't believe that bullshit. These folks control the narrative when it comes to their platforms. They can sit there and move the needle the way they want to move the needle. If you're excited enough, if you speak enough derogatory nonsense into the ether, into the atmosphere, if you push out some bullshit, oh yeah, they'll push the narrative real strong for you. But if you come with some positive information, if you come with financial literacy, if you come with something to stop our youth from ending up incarcerated or dead, yeah, well, it's going to be a little bit harder for you. So the best way to combat that, in my opinion, the best way to combat that on these free platforms, because they are definitely free. Instagram, they want you to buy ads. IG, Facebook, Snapface, all this other shit. The best way to combat that is to build your own digital infrastructure and ecospace. Utilize these platforms for exactly what they are: free advertisement, your own broadcast network. Push your media through these channels. Use it as a springboard or a platform to push your narrative. And then funnel those individuals and like-minded sources and minds and consumers and friends and family directly to your platform, to your landing page, and get them engaged and involved in what it is that you're doing. That's how you combat that. And keep in mind, we have a lot of artists out here that are trying to consume the entire elephant as opposed to nibbling one bite at a time. Carve out your niche within your region. You have to get out, hit the ground running. Everything isn't done from behind this computer screen. You have to get out and mix and mingle with the people. You got to go to the clubs. You got to go to the parties. You got to go to the events. You got to go to the conferences and talk and network with people that can enhance and level you up and give you information that is going to be worthy for you to know, hey man, this is how I need to make my next move. A lot of you want to invest a whole lot of money, throw money at a whole bunch of situations and end up with nothing, literally nothing. That's why I want Gippy to write a book. I want Gippy to sit there and talk to the masses. Big Gip. Y'all know who Big Gip is. Leader of the Mutants. Outkast. I hold him in dear esteem as a friend because he's done it. I don't talk to people that haven't done it. He's done it at all levels. He's still doing it. Went from rap career, phenomenal rap career with the Goody Mob, the Dungeon Family, that whole Outkast situation. And now he's taking Southern Soul by storm. Same principles. It's the music business. And now he's doing more business than music, but Auntie Love is charting. Auntie Love is getting rave reviews. So if you know the business, you know how to sit there and move within the network of the business, how to register your music correctly. When I say registration, I mean real registration. We're talking about copyrights, encoding, BDS, Nielsen, ISRC codes, UPC codes, the MLC, RIA, all of these different entities that give you true registration of your music to protect your intellectual property. If you're not doing these things, before you submit your music to a DSP, a digital service provider, they're going to take advantage of you. You're going to sit there and try to figure out, man, how do I collect my chips? Well, you ain't got no chips to collect because you hadn't done it right. So you need to talk to people and individuals who have a real idea of how to do it because they've done it themselves. And they practice what they preach. And sometimes you just need the hardcore conversation of whether or not what you're putting out, is it worthy? Because sometimes you need to sit on things. Sometimes you need to be patient. Sometimes you need to sit there and mix down, master, and hear input from different individuals that's going to tell you the truth. Hey, man, it's not ready yet. It's not ready. And when I say it's not ready, that means not that it's trash, it's just that it's not ready. Masterpieces take time. And I'm going to give credit to a real good brother of mine, Roblo Escobars. Welcome to the live, Roblo Escobars. We got a nice mix that's coming down in the first quarter that we're going to be running through Freeway Records with Emilio Sparks and my brother Roblo Escobars. Divine Intervention is going to be in the mix here pretty soon. And I can tell you, Roblo has been taking his time with pulling this together. He's not just dropping some nonsense. He's speaking to the people, he's speaking to the youth, he's speaking about what he's gone through in his life. And he wants it right. And he wants it right on the rollout. And I can appreciate that and understand that. So if you're an artist and you have some questions, you have comments, you have concerns about doing this the right way, approaching it the right way, and getting the best bang for your buck, because I can assure you, nobody working for free out here today. And if they are, then you're not getting the best of the best when it comes to what it is that they do or that they say that they do. They just trying to figure it out. So they definitely don't know what they're doing if they're not charging you for what it is that they've mastered. And you can't get upset with an individual that submits to you an invoice along the way, because everything that you want to do in this music business, it costs money. It costs money. Advertisement costs money. Rotation on radio costs money. They're not just going, there's no DJ that's just going to interrupt their regular play to run your music. They have a designated playlist that they're subscribed to run because of who's been paying them to play it. Now, you can hit some college radio stations, you can do the college network thing and tap in that way, and yes, you'll still gain your royalties. It's a whole hell of a lot more royalties that come in through radio than, of course, streaming. But like I tried to tell everyone that I speak with, your best option is to build your own digital ecospace, your own infrastructure, and do a direct to consumer with your product. You can create your own streaming platform, and they can do digital downloads from your websites. They can do hardcore commodity entities from your website, merchandise, apparel, the whole 9 yards from your landing pages and websites. You need to learn how to take advantage of having your own store, your own entity, your own digital footprint in space, especially in this day and age, to protect your intellectual property. I talked to somebody the other day and I asked them just a couple of questions. And one of the main questions I ask every artist is, have you copyrighted your work? And the answer is yes. At least that's what they say. At least that's what they think. I said, well, how'd you do it? Well, I went through this third party and said, wait a minute. Did the third party link you up with the Library of Congress? I think it was some .dacr. I'm not going to sit there and call them out because it's not legitimate. It's a business, but it's not legitimate. If it is not going through the Library of Congress, then it is not a legitimate copyright of your sound recording or your work, your composition, whether it be literary, whether it be a soundtrack, whether it be a movie, then it is not. And so when you start to engage those conversations and people want to talk more than they listen, then I shut the hell up, because obviously they know a whole hell of a lot more than what I'm trying to give them information-wise. And all I can do at that point is just pray for them and wish them the best. Because at the end of the day, it's not going to work out the way that they think. But enough about that. I didn't come on here for too long to talk about a whole bunch of nonsense, but I do want to bestow some information upon my brothers and sisters that are in the industry that are trying to find their way. If in fact you want to reach out to me, give me a call, 808-225-9063. Hit me on the DM, direct message on Facebook, or give me a call, 808-225-9063. Email me, client support @GEMSIT.org. And it is very important, it is paramount to make sure that you lock in with us on all of our social media platforms. Like, share, and subscribe to Boss Talk Podcast 101, Boss Talk Podcast 101 Primetime. We will be here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5. Any talk topics, any conversations, anything you want to get into, hit me up. If you want to have an interview, online interview, or do you want me to come to your city and sit down with you and let's get into this thing, we'll do it. We'll do it. 2026 is going to be a banner year. We coming at your throat, 2026. Take no prisoners. Leave no prisoners. Leave nobody unscathed. We taking everybody that's been on that bullshit and righting the ship. We're putting everything in place. We're adjusting everything so that it's where it needs to be, so everything can fall in alignment. Once again, big shout out to my brother, Big Gip, Sky Watley, and the crew. Auntie Love is making its way around the Southern Soul market. And these guys are charting. These guys are hitting billboards. These guys are making their way with this profound sound that's been around for a very long time, but is being exposed at the highest levels because of what we do here in the South. I'm in the great state of Mississippi. And, you know, we didn't have a whole lot of East Coast or West Coast flavor when it came to what we listened to. Jazz, blues, R&B, and the rap culture that hit the Mississippi scene. Of course, David Banner, Smoke D, and of course our favorites out of the ATL, Outkast, Goody Mob, you know, T.I., all these young brothers that came up and were holding it down with a voice for the South to let people know that, man, you're not going to play with us when it comes to this music. And you damn sure ain't going to play with us when it comes to life. Because if you notice, here in the South, unlike most regions on the East Coast and even on the West Coast, people own land. People live in homes. People have families. Mississippi definitely isn't what you think it is. We ain't just out here picking cotton and peas and being pushed around by massa. Those are stories that were told. But everybody wasn't walking that line, and everybody wasn't going for that bullshit. You got to go read the history books, not their history books, our books, our information. Go sit down with your great grandma or your grandpa and go find out where you really come from. Find out your heritage, find out your history, find out who you really are. And then begin to get a clear understanding that our people here in the South have always been a force to be reckoned with. I'm just going to leave it there because then it's going to sound like I'm on my soapbox. I don't want to give you an all-out history lesson. We're not going to go back into the Jim Crow era because everything that you see in your history books in the school systems, of course, is about slavery. That's all you was taught, that you were a slave. You were nothing more than a slave. And that couldn't be nothing further from the truth. Nothing further from the truth. I got to get all of my specs together on this machine. I got to see why it's probably my internet. See why it's lagging. See why I'm looking blurry and furry. I might even need to shave or something. I don't know. I hate shaving. I hate cutting my hair. You know, go to the barbershop. These individuals want $100 for a haircut these days. They lost their damn mind. Whatever happened to the $10 haircut, the $5-10 haircut? You know, has inflation gotten to the point to where you charging $100 for a cut? Man, please. So I got my own shears and I do my own shit, and I really don't get to it too often. But there again, it is what it is. I want to let you guys know that we're going to be in regular rotation with programming every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday when I get an opportunity to really open this thing up and talk to you every day of the week, because I do go out into the community. I talk to our sponsors. I talk to different businesses that want to advertise with us here on Industry Talk. And I go out into the community. We work with the kids. We stay active. And a lot of this stuff I'm going to start recording, and we're working on subdivisions and land development in our area. You see some of that stuff on my timeline. So I'm always busy. Of course, both my boys play pro basketball. You know, of course, my Tolu's up there with Detroit Pistons. My oldest son, G, is overseas. And so I stay on the move. My wife and I stay on the move with all of the things that we have going. All of the things that we have going. And it's kind of hard sometimes to commit yourself to doing every day of the week. But I have to. I have to for the sake of, you know, the people, the culture. And if you look at my social media numbers, I'm not talking about what we do on Boss Talk Podcast 101. If you look at my social media numbers, I don't have a lot of fans and a lot of followers and subscribers and all this kind of stuff. Now on Primetime, we have over 72,000 active subscribers. Boss Talk Podcast 101, we have over 340,000 active subscribers. But my IG and my Facebook and all that stuff, no, I follow people that I know, and they follow me back. I don't need a whole bunch of folks that are listening to me, talking to me, man, interacting with me. You know, that's fake to me. That's not real, because I'm not in it for the money. I don't do this. I don't engage on these platforms for the money. A lot of people, man, you better, you should. Now that means it becomes a job. It don't become fun no more. You see? And when something that I find to be fun and enjoyable, and I can get on here and talk shit and smack and talk about my friends and what they got going on without any hindrance, without violating community guidelines and different things along those lines, well, you know, it don't become fun no more. You see what I'm saying? I want to be able to talk about Zaga. A lot of you might not know what the Zaga is. You know, a CBD infused liquid beverage that is produced by Gipp. Big Gipp's really doing some major things. He's taking what he started out with and evolved into a consummate professional when it comes to business. On all levels. Because you see him at the city hall talking with the mayor. You see him at different conferences, on panels, talking about business. It had nothing to do with music. He's talking business. How you create true generational wealth, not that fake generational wealth that they tell you this is how you do it and it's quick fix overnight type shit. No, real generational sound business and how you build wealth. Creating business and opportunities that are out there for our people. So, you know, when I see things like that, it inspires me. I think KK might have joined the live. KK, welcome to the live. How you doing, sister? Good to see you. I'm glad you are a part of the program. I'm looking at all the different platforms, you know, and all of them pop up differently. I might have to look over here on IG. I might have to look over here on Facebook, over here on YouTube, over here on LinkedIn. And we're on all of them now. Twitch, X. You can find us on all of them. Lock in with us. I'm trying to tell you. We coming at you in a whole different type of a form this 2026. We coming at you totally different. But back to the script, back to what I was saying. I was talking about my brother Big Gipp and how profound he's been as a businessman. You know, that's inspiration. And he has a story to tell. And when he gets on these platforms, when he goes and talks on these podcasts and sit down with these people, I don't care where he goes, he does numbers because people listen to what Gippy is saying. They don't know how profound he is until he actually sits down with them and he begins to talk to you. When he begins to express the different things that he went through and has gone through in the business and the different individuals in the business that he's had run-ins with and have done business with and seen folks go through the ups and the downs and the roller coasters of the business. A walking encyclopedia. And I'm happy to know him as a good man and a friend. I consider him to be. So 2026, like I said, it's going to be a banner year. We're going to do some major things. We have a lot of things on the way. Unshaken. I finished the book, Unshaken, The Life of Keith Wallace. Keith is going to let you know when the official rollout is going to be of the book. It's coming. And then, of course, we have to get on our promotional tour with the book to let the world know that Unshaken is out there. And we want you to participate and be a part of this voyage with this book. Now, I've gone through and I've heard a lot of different stories from a lot of different individuals about their lives. Hell, even I got a story, but, you know, my story is not that time to tell it. From my good friend, Rick Ross, Free Ricky Ross, the real Rick Ross. I told him all, OG Pyru out of California, Melvin Farmer. All of these guys are my friends, man. We've sat down and we've talked about a lot of things that they've gone through, from bank robberies to being the biggest dope dealers on the street, being fused in with the cartels and the Sandinistas and that whole situation with Oliver North and John Poindexter, who was the head of the NSA at the time, Ronald Reagan, and selling drugs and guns, and waging war, and trying to figure out a way to fund it. So they flooded the streets with dope. The crack era, they call it. I've talked to a lot of people. I've had conversations, great conversations with a lot of people. But Keith Wallace's story is profound nonetheless. 14 years old, accused of assault and battery, sentenced to 6 years in an adult correctional facility. They sent him to the penitentiary. They didn't send him to a juvenile correctional facility. They sent him to the penitentiary. So you could imagine the trauma this man has going through something like that. And we've taken that story and put it into the book. Having a mother and a stepfather strung out on crack, having to panhandle under the bridge to make some money to feed your family, and ultimately getting reincarcerated on murder charges, attempted murder charges, and having to fight that. Dealing with the loss of your sister, I'm sorry, not your sister, his mother and his daughter on the very same day. Now I'm just giving you the fringes of what it is that we talked about. We took a year and recorded everything, video recorded. So we're going to run this in conjunction with the docuseries so that you can see it, you can read it, you can feel it, you can smell it. You can understand what this young man went through. And at the end of the day, has still positioned himself to become one of the most prolific recording artists that's out there today. Straight out of Dade County, coming out of Florida, down to Miami. Had run-ins with the Zoes. I can go on and on with the list. There's a laundry list. I even had a conversation with Ali Zoe Adam, but I'm going to leave that for another day. And some of the conversation that we had, some of the things that were going on down in Florida at the time. And Ali is a good friend of mine as well. He served some time on federal institution, the Zopound and that whole crew. But Keith's story is so impactful that I believe everyone for 2026 needs to purchase the book and understand the story. Understand what this man went through, and you can sit there and see why it's so important for us to solidify the family, for us to lock in with our kids and make sure that we're steering them in the right direction. Seems like discipline has fallen off of the map when it comes to our kids. Active participation in helping them with school has fallen off with our kids. It's sad when, your kid comes home and needs help with his homework and you can't help him because you don't know no better yourself. We've got to get away from that. We have to have parents that are actively involved. And if you need help, say you need help, get you some time at one of these schools that offer GEDs or offer, adult education programs, because you need to know about English and helping them with prepositions and adverbs, adjectives, nouns. You need to know about algebra and geometry, calculus. People say, man, I don't need that stuff. I don't do that in the stuff that ain't in what I do. Yeah, and you're going to always be a part of the labor class. You'll always be a part of that labor pool. And I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, if you have an advanced education, if you put yourself and prop yourself into a position to where you can teach your kid better than what you were taught, then you're giving them a fighting chance to succeed. It doesn't have to just be athletics. You could ask my sons. Both of them wanted to leave college early to go play pro ball. It was mandatory that they got their degree. They had to get their degree. One from Mississippi College, the other from Mississippi State. I love the great state of Mississippi. Everything I do is comprised of building Mississippi and showing to the world how great our state is. Because of the people, because of the family, and because of everything that comes out of Mississippi that doesn't get talked about. Nobody says anything about Mississippi except for the negative. We're the last in education, first in crime. But that's not necessarily true. Racism, seething through the bones, that's what they say. There's nothing but a bunch of racist situations happening in Mississippi. People dying like left and right. The Klan has taken over. I don't ever remember my family being afraid of the Klan. My grandfathers, my grandmother, my mother, and my uncles. Because for some odd reason, everyone in our family knows how to use a 30-06. Shotgun. Rifle with a scope. Own businesses. My grandmother was a beautician. My Uncle Anthony owned one of the night spots in the area. And so what we saw, of course, my grandfather was a carpenter, concrete mason, brick mason. So what we saw was creating your own business, your own outlets to build and do for yourself. So when it came to protecting home, that was paramount. You're not just going to come and trample on anything. Nothing. You ain't taking nothing because we wasn't taking no shit. That's what I was taught. That's what I was taught. You hear about the stories of your grandmother stabbing the shit out of a motherfucker for fucking up, for bullshitting, for coming at you wrong. Everybody in my family know the stories. You know, I'm not saying we was the biggest gangsters on the block. No, that had nothing to do with it. It had something to do with how you handled your business as a family. And what lessons you're going to sit there and teach the next generation. Bay St. Louis, Mississippi, you can look it up. We had the first black chief of police, Brad Douglas, in the state of Mississippi. That's what I grew up seeing. I saw black folks around me. So I'm not sure where all of these messages come from, and I'm 55. So I don't know where all of these mixed messages of these things were going on all throughout Mississippi, Louisiana. And no, man. Get the story right. Get the story right. And like I say, one of these days I'll mess around and tell my story. I'll sit there and give you guys some insight on the book that I'm going to write about my life and all of the blessings that have been bestowed upon me, you know, because when you talk to me, when you see me, you know, I got a face for radio. A lot of people don't know that. I shouldn't even be on this podcast thing. I don't look like a podcast pundit or affiliate because I'm rough around the edges. But I attended the University of the Virgin Islands in St. Thomas. I ended up working for the Department of Defense, the DON, the Department of the Navy, as a computer specialist for well over 10 years. You know, But there are a lot of things that took place for me to be able to get to where I got to. And I enjoyed every moment. And now I'm sitting back watching my boys play pro ball. I don't boast about it, don't brag about it, because they still going after it. They still getting it. They still doing their thing and doing a wonderful job in the process. I have a laundry list of kids that we attended to. They're young men now at this point. I let them tell a story of how we participated with these guys every day throughout their duration of high school. Every day. Homework assistance in basketball. Homework assistance in basketball. A little Pizza Hut every once in a while. AAU tournaments. But it was more of the mentorship and participating in these kids' lives that impacted, would inevitably, things that helped save my life, that got me out of the bullshit, the nonsense, and being in the streets. Because I had something to live for. Think about it. So we ain't gonna keep going down this rabbit hole because I wasn't gonna be on here for too long with you. I just wanted to let you guys know that Industry Talk here on the Primetime Network will be on all social media platforms. That's Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, LinkedIn, IG, X, you name it. We will be multicasting and multi-streaming on all of these platforms every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure you do what?
Stop what you're doing right now and go subscribe to Boss Talk Podcast 101 Primetime on YouTube, all social media platforms. Boss Talk Podcast 101 Primetime. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to make sure you tap in. Right now, over 72,000 subscribers and well over 11 million views and watch time hours. So make sure that you continue to support, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, and keep tapping in with us because we're going to keep on bringing you this hot content every day and in every way. It's your main man, Big G. And make sure, like I said, stop what you're doing right now and tap in. Like, share, subscribe. Boss Talk Podcast 101 Primetime.
There it is. Y'all know what to do. Tap in with us. Tap in with us and take this journey with me. 2026 is coming right around the corner. It's 12, 27, 2025. Not much longer now. Not much longer. We're going to be lining up some of the hottest interviews, some of the hottest topics and conversations that you could ever think about, and we're going to have some fun with it. That's what it's about for me. I'm at the ripe old age where, man, I'm having fun with life. I'm enjoying life. At one time, I had to look over my shoulder. We ain't looking over our shoulder anymore. We're enjoying life. So, with that being said, y'all already know it's about health, wealth, and wellness at all times with me. Y'all already know that. So stay dangerous, my friends. Stay dangerous. You've been locked into another great episode of Primetime Pod. Major salute to our guest. And remember, ain't no time like primetime. This is your main man, Big G, with Industry Talk. And remember to like, share, and subscribe to our network, Primetime Pod. And as always, beautiful people, it's about health, wealth, and wellness.
Primetime Pod. Make sure you check it out.
How? Why the fuck you think he missing? He say that.
And second feels a whole lot.
Now, I'm not trying to get a little messy with you.
Time is money.
They go trap.